Most men spend their entire lives waiting for a moment that almost never comes. They sit back expecting a woman to walk right up to them, look them dead in the eye, and say, "I like you." But real life doesn't work like a movie script. Women rarely drop their defenses and declare their feelings so openly. The reality is that female attraction operates on a completely different frequency. Women communicate interest through subtle, quiet, indirect signals. They test your awareness, read your confidence, and drop small hints to see if you are sharp enough to notice, all while protecting themselves from the risk of outright rejection. The fundamental problem is that most guys miss these cues completely. They walk around completely blind to what is happening right in front of them. When a woman is genuinely interested, they overthink her polite behavior, talk themselves out of taking action, or mistake her subtle warmth for simple friendliness. Worse yet, many men fall into the trap of believing that attraction has to be loud and dramatic. They think a woman only likes them if she's overtly flirting, showering them with compliments, or sending undeniable signals. Because they are constantly looking for a massive, obvious sign, they walk right past the quiet, authentic interest that was sitting there the whole time. Real attraction isn't loud, flashy, or performative. Real attraction is consistent. A woman who is genuinely drawn to you might never say it out loud at first, but her behavior will betray her thoughts every single time. It shows up in the way her body language subtly shifts the moment you walk into the room. It shows up in the effortless energy she brings to every interaction with you. And above all, it shows up in how she prioritizes your presence, even when she has a million other things going on. She won't always give you a direct green light, but she will continually position herself in your world and leave the door open for you to step through. When you finally train yourself to see past the noise and understand how women actually operate, everything about dating changes. You stop guessing. You stop overanalyzing every single text message. And you stop chasing women who are simply being polite. Instead of stumbling around in the dark, you gain the quiet confidence of a man who knows exactly what is going on. What we are breaking down today are the precise psychological behavioral shifts that prove her attraction is real. These aren't cheap tricks or superficial advice you find buried in social media algorithms. These are deep-rooted behavioral patterns backed by real human psychology. And once you learn to spot them, you will never look at dating the same way again. Physical proximity. When a woman feels a genuine pull toward a man, her physical location suddenly stops being random. She doesn't need to make a big announcement, nor does she need to use loud words. Instead, her body will naturally guide her into your personal space. This is not desperate behavior, nor is it clingy. It is an instinctual drive that happens on a deep subconscious level. She positions herself near you because she wants to feel your energy. Observe how you move through the environment and test how you react to her being around. She is quietly gathering information about who you are simply by sharing the same physical footprint. Psychology explains this phenomenon through what is known as the mere exposure effect. At its core, this psychological principle proves that proximity drives familiarity, and familiarity naturally fuels attraction. The more a person is exposed to someone, the more comfortable and emotionally drawn they become toward them. Women understand this truth intuitively. By routinely placing herself in your line of sight, she builds a sense of comfort and safety without having to put her feelings out on the line. Being close to you allows her to feel connected while giving you the space to take action. You will see this play out in everyday situations if you are paying attention. If you are at work, she might find excuses to linger near your desk or walk the long way past your office just to say hello. At a social gathering, she might suddenly join a group conversation the moment you step into the circle, or conveniently choose the empty seat right across from you. If she consistently finds minor, almost random reasons to cross your path, understand right now that it is almost never a coincidence. It is her subtle, quiet invitation for you to step up and take the lead. The critical factor is how you respond to that proximity. The vast majority of men ruin this moment because they lack emotional control. The second they realize a woman is standing near them, they get visibly flustered, start trying too hard to impress her, or act star-struck by her attention. That needy energy immediately kills the curiosity she was feeling. The correct move is to acknowledge her presence with calm, unbothered composure. Greet her smoothly. Maintain your natural posture and stay completely grounded. When she sees that her presence doesn't shake your confidence, her interest transforms into deep respect. Behavioral mirroring. Once a woman is physically near you, the next layer of quiet attraction shows up in how she reacts to your movements and tone. When a woman feels emotionally connected to a man, her subconscious mind instinctively begins to align with his natural rhythm. This reaction is hardwired directly into the human brain through a network of mirror neurons. These specialized brain cells are responsible for empathy, connection, and social rapport. When she feels safe and drawn to your presence, her mirror neurons light up, causing her behavior to mirror yours without her even trying. Pay close attention to the flow of the interaction. If you are speaking in a slow, calm, and grounded tone, you will notice her match that exact pace instead of rushing her words. If you sit back in your chair and relax your shoulders, her posture will often shift to mirror that same relaxed posture. She might pick up on your specific catchphrases, adopt your subtle hand gestures, or sync her messaging speed to match yours when texting. This is not conscious imitation, nor is she playing a game. It is an involuntary biological signal telling you that she feels completely safe, comfortable, and locked into your frame. Most men make a massive mistake right here by doing the exact opposite. Instead of holding their own ground, they constantly adjust their tone, their energy, and their opinions to match hers. They think that by bending themselves to fit her mood, they will make her like them more. But when a man constantly shifts his frame to appease a woman, he projects insecurity and a complete lack of a stable core. Attraction vanishes the moment a woman realizes she can throw a man off his baseline just by changing her mood. Attraction thrives on stability. When you notice a woman mirroring your behavior, do not call it out, do not make it awkward, and do not let it inflate your ego. Simply stay centered in your own energy. Keep your voice steady. Keep your movements deliberate, and let her continue to fall naturally into your pace. When you remain the anchor in the interaction, she feels the strength of your composure, and her emotional attraction deepens without you having to force a single thing. Selective recall. There is a night and day difference between a woman who is just being polite and a woman who is genuinely attracted to you. An indifferent woman will smile, make small talk, and completely forget everything you said 5 minutes after the conversation ends. But a woman who feels a real emotional connection to you operates like a steel trap. She tracks the details of your life with laser focus, remembering things that even your closest friends would completely miss. This happens because the human brain is hardwired to store information that carries high emotional value. When a woman is attracted to you, her subconscious mind categorizes you as someone who matters, which means her brain automatically starts recording every detail you share. She will casually bring up a throwaway comment you made 3 weeks ago, remember exactly how you like your coffee, or recall a quick story you told her about your family. She will notice immediately if your voice sounds slightly tired, or if your energy is off by even 5%. This selective recall is one of the clearest forms of quiet emotional investment a woman can make. Where most men mess this up is in how they respond when she drops one of these details. They get overly excited, start grinning like they just won the lottery, or instantly start oversharing to reward her for paying attention. Doing that immediately flips the dynamic and makes you look starved for validation. It signals to her that you aren't used to women paying close attention to you. The move here is to receive her attentiveness with grounded, unshakable confidence. When she brings up a detail she remembered, simply smile, acknowledge it smoothly, and keep the conversation moving forward without making a big deal out of it. Let her see that while you appreciate her attention, you are a man who expects to be noticed because you know your own worth. That calm assurance reinforces her attraction on a subconscious level because it proves you are used to high-value interactions. Lowered defenses. By nature, women are protective of their emotional worlds. They navigate daily life with a natural shield up because opening up to the wrong person carries real emotional risk. So, when a woman voluntarily starts dropping that shield around you, it is a massive signal. It means her instincts have evaluated you and decided that you are a source of safety rather than a potential threat. You will recognize this shift immediately when the depth of your conversation suddenly changes. She stops sticking to safe, surface-level small talk about the weather or work and starts steering the conversation toward her personal life. She begins sharing stories from her childhood, talking about her family dynamics, opening up about her long-term fears, or trusting you with her personal insecurities. This level of emotional exposure is driven by oxytocin, the brain's primary bonding hormone that gets released when a woman feels genuine trust and emotional security in a man's presence. This is the exact moment where countless men unknowingly ruin their progress. When a woman starts sharing her vulnerable side or talking about a problem, many men immediately slip into fixer mode. They jump in to offer unsolicited advice, try to solve her problems like a math equation, or start lecturing her on what she should have done differently. Other guys freeze up entirely because they don't know how to handle emotional depth. Both reactions destroy the safe space she just tested you with. Your role in this dynamic is simple. Provide a steady, unshakable presence. She isn't coming to you looking for a life coach or a lecture. She is bringing you into her world to see if you are strong enough to hold space for her without flinching or judging. Listen to her with full, calm attention. Keep your posture relaxed. Maintain solid eye contact and let her speak without interrupting. When a woman realizes she can be completely real around you without you losing your cool or trying to control her, her trust deepens. And deep trust is the bedrock of permanent attraction. Playful testing. When a woman begins to feel genuine attraction toward a man, she won't just sit back passively. She will actively test your emotional boundaries. She will poke at your ego with playful banter, question your opinions with a smirk, or drop a sarcastic comment just to see how you handle it. Most men interpret this behavior completely wrong. They think she is being disrespectful, rude, or trying to pick a fight, when in reality, she is running a quiet diagnostic test on your strength as a man. They think she is evaluating what relationship dynamics call your frame, your internal stability and self-assurance under pressure. Deep down, a woman wants to know if you are truly grounded in who you are, or if your confidence is just a fragile front that shatters at the first sign of friction. She wants to see if a simple, teasing comment will cause you to get defensive, become insecure, or instantly start over-explaining yourself to win her approval. Weak men react to her banter with heightened emotion. They either snap back aggressively or turn into a people-pleaser trying to smooth things over. Both reactions prove to her that she holds full control over your emotional state. Strong, high-value men handle this testing with a relaxed smile and calm composure. They recognize that playful tension is the literal birth of chemistry. When she tosses a playful challenge your way, your job is not to debate her or defend your honor. Your job is to laugh it off, match her wit with effortless charm, and show her that nothing she says can rattle your centeredness. When you treat her teasing like a fun game rather than a personal attack, you shift the entire dynamic. You demonstrate that you have the emotional maturity to handle her energy without taking yourself too seriously. And that unshakable calm instantly draws her deeper into your orbit. The self-aware advantage beyond physical presence or witty banter. The single most magnetic trait a man can develop isn't loud, aggressive confidence. It is deep internal self-awareness. In today's world, far too many men rely on performative confidence. They feel the need to puff up their chest, flex their status, talk over others, and constantly demand the spotlight just to feel important. But performative confidence is paper-thin, and women have an almost biological radar for spotting it the second it enters the room. Real self-awareness is the exact opposite of performance. It means knowing who you are, understanding your true worth, and being completely clear on your values without needing a single person to clap for you. A self-aware man is comfortable in his own skin. He owns his strengths without bragging, acknowledges his flaws without shame, and moves through life completely unbothered by external judgment. That level of internal alignment projects an aura of massive stability. And stability is the ultimate foundation of dynamic attraction. When a man lacks self-awareness, he constantly projects his hidden insecurities onto the people around him. He misinterprets small comments as insults, gets needy for constant reassurance, or tries to control the interaction out of fear. A self-aware man does none of that, because he has already confronted his own inner world. He doesn't bring hidden baggage or erratic ego to the table. Women feel an immediate sense of relief in his presence because they don't have to walk on eggshells or feed his ego. Knowing that a man is centered, honest with himself, and emotionally secure gives a woman the ultimate green light to drop her defenses and let real attraction take over. Unshakable emotional control. At the end of the day, women are not ultimately drawn to the exact words you choose or the superficial flexes you throw out. They respond directly to the emotional climate you create around them, specifically how your presence makes them feel. And the single most powerful magnetic trait you can cultivate as a man is unshakable emotional control. It is your absolute ability to stay calm, grounded, and cool-headed when the world around you gets chaotic, unpredictable, or tense. True emotional control is the ultimate signal of high status, real strength, and deep maturity. It tells a woman loud and clear that your internal state is owned entirely by you. It proves that your mood doesn't swing wildly because of traffic, work stress, minor inconveniences, or her personal bad mood. When a man reacts impulsively to every little annoyance, getting easily frustrated, visibly angry, or overly jealous, he sends a clear signal that he is weak and easily swayed by external forces. But when a man maintains restraint, he projects an aura of quiet dominance. He shows that he is the master of his own mind, and that level of self-mastery is deeply irresistible. This isn't just modern dating advice. It is rooted in evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, women have subconsciously looked for men who could regulate their emotions under pressure. Why? Because emotional restraint signals reliability, high social intelligence, and the capacity to protect and lead when things go sideways. A man who panics under pressure is a liability. A man who stays calm when chaos erupts is a sanctuary. When a woman sees that you don't break down, lose your temper, or throw a tantrum when life gets hard, or when she tests your boundaries, her nervous system settles into a state of total safety. Becoming that steady anchor means learning how to pause before you react. When a high-stress situation hits, or when a conversation gets heated, weak men immediately match the chaos with their own emotional outburst. High V-value men do the exact opposite. They drop their tone, slow down their breathing, and process the situation with quiet clarity. You become the calm center in the middle of her storm. When a woman realizes that your composure cannot be shaken by her bad day, her mood swings, or external setbacks, her respect for you skyrockets. At that point, attraction stops being a conscious decision for her. It becomes an automatic, hardwired response.